In today's video, I will be showing you how you can make $500 or more simply by typing names. And I know that might sound crazy, but I'm gonna prove it to you in this video that it works from anywhere in the world with absolutely no money to get started from a computer or a smartphone or pretty much anything that can connect to the internet. So I've put together this video to show you guys just how crazy and ridiculous this opportunity is. It's probably the best single method that I've found to make you guys money from scratch. No skill, no upfront investment, and you don't even need a computer to do this. So make sure you stick around for the full video because I'm going to be showing some very fun hacks that actually make you more money during the strategy and near the end of action to reveal a very ultra top secret strategy that's going to make you the most possible money in the fastest possible time leveraging the strategy. Just before I show you everything, however, if you like this type of content, then show your support by giving this video a thumbs up below. And if you don't want to miss on more videos, then make sure you click that red subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you get notified whenever a new video pops up. Let's get started. This is actually inside of my Squad Help account. You can see right here that there's a number of different things. We're gonna walk through all of these one by one, but real quick, we're gonna go to Contests, go to Browse, and click Active Contest. Now, go to Contests again and click Leaderboard. One right here where we can see last month, this user called MPINC won 7 different contests and won $43,364. The person in second won 6 contests and they won $14,062. Legenda 100 won $25,385 for just 5 games, and the reason that you see these big differences is that sometimes they have huge contests where they give significantly more than $500. These mega companies and these funded software companies have essentially infinite pockets from venture capitalists and things like that, but you can see right here, right? $4,000, $13,000, even $27,000 in a single month. All of these different people are making significant amounts of money using Squad Help. I'm going to be going over exactly how they did that, step by step. And before we actually get into how to start earning that type of money using Squad Help, it's important to understand exactly what Squad Help is, because it's actually a really good idea when you have really good ideas in business that capitalize on them, and that is when the opportunity becomes much more realistic. So how does Squad Help actually work? Well, basically there's thousands of companies all around the world that need help in naming their business. The perfect name is hard. Think about how you feel when you hear Windows or Apple or Google and they seem like they've always been a part of our everyday life, but at one point, someone, somewhere, had to come up with that perfect name. Companies are willing to pay a lot of money for that perfect name. If you're thinking yourself, hey, are there really businesses out there that are willing to pay someone to come in and literally type a name for them? The answer is absolutely yes. And I understand it can be kind of hard to think from scratch and try to come up with a perfect name, and so a little trick that I like to do when I'm doing this is to alleviate that writer's block, because everybody knows if you sit down to write a paper, you sit down and try to think of something from scratch, and it's much more difficult to do than if you have some examples to look at. So what I like to do is come over here to Winners for us to see the recent winners, and the cool thing is that you can see the winning designs, the winning names, the winning everything of these people, and you can see the exact price they won, all from yesterday. And you can see the winning design, Thrivara, right, which is a great name for a website. Sunshine Building Maintenance, the brighter solution. Tagline, a new tagline. We can see, all types of different examples here. Brand name for an education business, the flexibility you want, the experience you need, $300. I could have thought of that in 2 seconds. Impress us with an incredible logo. You can see the logo right here if you do have graphic artistry skills. You can also design logos as well. Brand name for a bar and brewery businesses, Drunkenberg. Being drunk in a bar, that's a $100 winner right there. Name for a prop tech app, Real Voo. And the thing is, there's a lot of different ways you can maximize your chances of your company or business name actually having a higher probability of winning, which we're gonna get into in a second. Before we actually get into how to maximize your probability of winning so you guys can make the most possible money in the least amount of time and effort, I want to show you guys kind of how the website works. So first, create your free account. So once you log in, you're going to come to your dashboard view, which we can see right here. You can see the contest, you can see our work, names, taglines, logos, and testimonials, the names for sale. They also sell premium domain names when I could be talking about in this particular video, and you can see resources, which is very important. You can see what types of designs, what types of brand names, and what types of taglines are actually being chosen by people. The simplicity and look for patterns and things like that. When I was first starting, I took a look at all the recent winners and I looked at the leaderboards for the winners, leaderboards for ratings, the rising stars, all of those. I scrolled to every single one. As you can see, there's some things that they have in common. Taglines are generally not longer than 4 or 5 words. Most brand names or company names are kind of a pun or a play on words, like you saw Thinkly. It was spelled, instead of think with an I, it's think with a Y, and it looks really cool, and I was a very short little URL and things like that, which is another little hack we're gonna talk about later on. You always want to make sure that the name you submit as your contest entry is available from a URL perspective, because these companies are looking for an overall brand. They're gonna want to buy the domain there, and they're gonna want to get the Instagram, the Facebook social media presence. So before you actually submit your name, one little hack to use is making sure that the domain and things like that are actually available, because people are gonna want that when they actually choose your winning name. And so the first thing that we're gonna do once we actually come here is go to contest and go to active contest. We're gonna go to all, but what we're gonna focus on for this particular video is actually called naming. But like I said before, you can also submit logos and you can also submit taglines. And taglines are just as easy as naming, but instead of actually thinking of a brand or company name like Apple, you would think of a tagline like Think Different. So it's basically the same thing, and so what we're gonna focus on in this video is naming, but tagline is also a very easy, very reasonable way to make money that works in the exact same way, but instead of just brand names like Nike, you think of the tagline, just do it. And so, the first thing we're gonna do is actually come on to naming here instead. We're gonna look for things that have been guaranteed prizes. We can actually sort these by newest, because you wanna make sure that when you actually sign up for Squad Help, that you're applying to every single one of these. A strong name for short-term rental management company. There's only 274 entries, which is crazy, so if I applied right now, even if nothing else happened, I would have around 5% chance of winning, just because there's so few people actually in here. 307 entries with a $200 grand prize, which is not as big as the $500 one that we looked at, but like I said, we can actually go to award amount here and we can see that there's $400 here. $400 a here, 300, 300, 300. Get the 300, 300, 300, right? A lot of different ways to actually make money, but I like to look by newest instead of award amount, because you know how Squad Help works. It's all the people are concentrating on the $500 ones, which means that people are leaving out the $100 ones, the $200 ones, the 150s, the 300s, and I'd rather apply for all those low competition ones than be one of 1,000 entries for the $500 ones. It gives you a much higher likelihood of actually being selected and winning the overall contest and then getting paid. By the way, if you're a beginner and the contest says Tier A creatives only, that means you can't join that yet. Tier A status allows you to participate in contests that are only open to Tier A creatives. This status is only offered to select few creatives who have demonstrated a consistent pattern of high-quality submissions. Now, there are 4 ways to become eligible for Tier A status. First, you have won at least one contest during the last 6 months and your percentile score based upon CH ratings is 80% or above. The second method is if you have won at least 3 contests during the last 6 months and your percentile score is 60% or above. The third method, if you have been with Squad Help for at least 30 days and your percentile score is 85% or above. And lastly, if you have received 20 or more lifetime wins at Squad Help. So go back to the contest. Here's one example. As you click the contest, there's what they call the NDA, or a non-disclosure agreement, where you can read and accept it. So here I click, I agree to an NDA, and that's it. What is your business or brand about? The brand is specialized in designing and selling abayas for customers in the Middle East. So you know that they want to give you a very special name for a very special brand, which is abayas. By the way, abaya was a full-length outer garment worn by some Muslim women, according to Google, right? So you want to make sure that your actual brand name that you submit sounds catchy, sounds special. You might call it something like ABA, just a big letter A, B, and A that you can have some abbreviation for, just simple as that. And I just thought of that in 1 second. With that's actually kind of a bad name, so do you want a .com URL? So like I said before, most of these businesses do want things that are available. And so we're going to use a couple of tools to make this way easier. So let's just identify a couple of words that really say what this company is about. Middle East, classic design, fashion and clothing. So workers can use Middle East, classic design, because that's kind of what their business is about. You always want to kind of look for things in the first sentence or two, because companies generally put what they're mainly concerned with at the beginning of what their brand is about, and they kind of move on to other things that are less and less of an importance. I was able to make this Middle East styles, a classical design, so we're gonna go to a website called Namelicks.com, and what this does is that it actually generates business names for you based on artificial intelligence and algorithms that they created. So we're gonna do Middle East, or we're gonna do Middle East classical designs. We're gonna generate some names. We're gonna do short names, medium names, long names. I think short names generally look a little bit better. Select the name style, brandable names like Google and Trulia that aren't necessarily like real words, more like foreign words misspellings. I actually generally like to do brandable names, but a lot of times people really like foreign words as well. We're gonna generate, and what this is gonna do is I'm gonna go out and find all these different things that people might be interested in. I'm gonna go back out, look through all these different names. I like to skip the premium ones because they're generally really expensive. Like we can see this one, $21.50, but this one is only about the normal cost of it, like $10. Midvi, Opest, Kotik, Earlow, Midbay, Flate. There's all these different words here that they're actually doing. I really like mid-sea, trad, intrigue, all these different words that they're going out and just giving us ideas about what we could actually look for that might be inexpensive and kind of gets our brain moving at least. You can see some of these premium ones that we're probably going to want to skip, but again, like I said, there's lots of different things to take a look at, another way that you can actually look for to generate the perfect URL. And remember, people always want to .com URL, almost always, so this is a good way to kind of get ideas without having to think too much on your own. And the next little trick that I'm going to show you is actually called Namesh.com. We can see here we're going to type in Middle Eastern Classical Fashion Design. We're going to generate. And what's going to happen is NameMesh is going to look at a bunch of different available actually domains here, and we can look at things where they mix things up, like fun ones, right? Like Classicalation, East Classical, Classication, right? Lots of different ones right here that you can like take a look at, and you can also see the ones that are available from a common perspective. Middle Eastern Classical Fashion Design.com, Middle Classical Fashion Design.com, Middle Native Classical Fashion Design.com. All these different names that are actually available. You can look through all of these and see what strikes your fancy, and you can check to see what's actually available from a .com perspective, and that can be your submission, and that can be your way of really kind of getting inside people's heads, looking at the keywords that they're interested in, and then actually creating something knowing that the .com domain is available already, which is definitely going to be a consideration that they have for choosing the winning name. And the cool thing about Squad Help is you really only have to get 1 or 2 wins to actually earn a full-time wage. If you get more than that, you can actually make significantly more doing this. I mean, you can do a lot of different things that actually increase the likelihood of you winning. The thing is, like always, 99% of people are not actually going to take any action watching this video, so try to be the 1% of people who actually takes action. And if you enjoyed this video, be the 1% of people who actually tap on that like button, click the red subscribe button, ring the bell icon, and leave a comment down below, letting me know a strategy or tip or trick that you've learned from me or anywhere online that has actually made you money. Leave a comment down below and let me know. And one more little quick note, When you're setting up your account, there's a $5 fully refundable fee, and the reason that they do that and the reason that they refunded it to you is just to keep people out who are gonna waste time and not actually take it seriously, not actually submitting good high quality brand names and not be serious about it. So they have a one-time $5 completely refundable charge just to keep people out who are not serious and just to let people in who are actually gonna put in some effort, create some awesome brand names, and make a bunch of money doing this. And that's all for today. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.